Do you think it's fucking funny to pretend to be me, Josh? Why don't you say something?
Woo!
I don't like that. It makes my eyes... I don't like that, okay?
The eyes are what you're concerned about, not the mouth.
Well, the eyes are, like, dead. That's the thing. It looks like you surgically implanted somebody else's eyes into my face.
You just said Josh's eyes look dead.
They do. Well, they look dead in my eye sockets.
That's weird.
I don't... Stop licking your lips.
What are you doing that with your tongue, Ryan?
Chat can't see that, so I don't feel that offended. But in any case, welcome to the Northernlion Live Super Show, the Monday, June 16th, 2014 edition. I, as always, am your host, Northernlion, joined by my esteemed co-hosts, Broccoli Smile.
Hi, I drop all the frames.
You dropping frames?
All of them. 58%, actually.
Oh, that's the frame dropping is passing the class in Canada then.
60%.
I dropped 60.
63.
I just dropped 60. Not
You dropped 60 I've dropped 0, but you
That's
know
good.
I made up for it by having my internet go out for 30 minutes on Friday's Indie Game the Movie stream. So
Oh.
I really like that.
apparently there's some static. The static will resolve itself. Usually what you got to do is just go, huh? Does that fix it? You let me know if that fixed it. I'll do it again.
Yeah, fixed.
It's technical difficulty stream here today on the Northernlion Live Super Show. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Normally I wouldn't shout that out, except I was surprised because I changed the subscriber sound.
Oh. Well, how am I going to make excuse me jokes anymore?
Well,
Excuse me?
I've got the laugh button sound doing it instead. Exactly. And now you got some Rice Krispies ass audio. Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Did that make it better? I'm just waiting. In the meantime, why don't you guys talk amongst yourselves? How do you feel? How's it going?
I'm all right.
It's warm today. It's all right, though.
It's overcast. It's cloudies over the city of Pittsburgh's. It rained a little bit.
It's fixed. We did it, Reddit. Now, before we get
Thanks,
started
Reddit.
today, we got news and fan mail. Our docket's going to be, a little bit of news and fan mail, starting with Magicite, which you can see in the background right here. A cool little survival roguelike puzzle, not puzzle, but platformer. Then some little bit of a Wizard's Lizard in the middle, some roguelike games in and of itself. And then to finish off, we're going to be playing some speedrunners because they just added new DLC, free DLC, and new characters, one of whom looks like me, but with a shark costume on.
I forgot
Yeah, it's
to
Gil.
update my docket for today.
Yeah? What does it say?
That's okay.
Being a
It was
scumbag?
Fridays or Thursdays. The Magica was
Oh,
no.
okay. That was
But we
Wednesday.
played it at the end.
Oh,
So-
yeah, we did play it at the end for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Magical Lizard Wars.
Before we get started here, people have been clamoring for me to tell the quote-unquote bus story from
It's a good story.
from Saturday.
Mhm.
So,
Good.
All right, let's hear it.
okay, I had the longest trip of my life on the bus on Saturday. So I got on the bus. I was going to see Kate. We're taking her dad out for Father's Day. And then I get on the bus, and I'm just sitting there, and like I'm on my phone, and the dude in front of me has a huge, like, grocery-sized bag of celery. Like, raw celery. And he's just, like, out of his grocery bag, he's just pulling this raw celery out and munching down, not even, like, washing it or anything like that. Sure, whatever, Farmer, put away the DDT. I don't care about spots on my celery. Leave me the birds and the bees. But while he's munching down on this raw celery, his girlfriend's, like, going to town on his neck and, like, giving him a hickey. And he's just, like... And she's giving him a hickey. And I was like, this is fucking weird, right? So I tweeted about it. I was like, ha, ha, ha. Let's make fun of this stranger I've never met, right? And then all of a sudden we hear like a little like crash thing and then police sirens. And everyone's like, what the fuck happened? And then apparently this driver hit the bus. So like the mirror on the bus got cracked. And then the police pulled him over. He was surrounded by police cars in like half a second. So they pulled him over and then we couldn't go anywhere. The police officer was like, it's going to take like 15 minutes for the bus to be ready to go again because we're going to ask the bus driver some questions. So we just like got out and the bus stop was right next to us. So we just sat there waiting for another bus. And in the meantime, they gave the driver a sobriety test right in front of us, like a breathalyzer. You got to breathe hard. We'll tell you if you're not breathing hard enough. So he does it. And then immediately after he finishes, they're just like, you're under arrest. And they put him in handcuffs and then put him face down on the sidewalk. And he's just like crying on the sidewalk because it's Traumatic, right? And then, so we're there.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
a shitty situation, but he shouldn't have been drinking and driving.
So then,
Knows the
yeah,
rules
well,
of
of
the
course,
road.
yeah. It's like a Saturday at 4 p.m. too. But anyway, so this is fucked up. I was like, this is the craziest bus ride I've ever been on. And then, the same bus that we were originally on pulls up and is like, come on, get on. So, I took a seat, and admittedly, I was sitting in what are known as priority seats. Seats reserved, not reserved, but, for the
Set
elderly
aside-
and
yeah, pregnant
physically
ladies.
disabled people. But there was nobody taking up these seats. Nobody at all. I was the last person on the bus. So I sat down in the seats, and then this guy from the back of the bus yells at me and is like, "You're not disabled, are you?" And I'm like, excuse me? Like, I basically went like, didn't I do for my subscribers?
You get a new subscriber.
And then he's like, "You don't look disabled to me." And then he's like, "These seats are reserved for people who are disabled and elderly." And I was like, I turn around, and normally I would just like hide like fucking crazy, but he's calling me out. So I was like, I'll get off I'll move when they get off. And then I was like, I'm sorry, because I'm Canadian. And he did the ultimate Canadian faux pas, which is like, he accused me of being impolite, which is like, I'm not going to stand for that shit. And then
Right.
he thought about it for a second, and he's like, "You're not sorry, you're selfish." And I was like, whoa, that's crazy, man. And then after, he called me a homosexual pejorative that I don't necessarily want to repeat. And I was seriously like tweeting the whole time, like, what the heck what world do I live in? And then the bus also had to stop for maintenance like 10 minutes later. So I was like, I'm never going to take the bus again. It made me want to buy a car for the first time in my entire life. Then I took the bus
Cars are
yesterday,
nice.
and it was fine. But my hands were shaking. I don't get into conflict on a regular basis. So a shouting
Yeah.
match with this guy, I was like, am I okay? Is he going to
And it
find
always
me?
like sucks because like
Jeez.
afterwards, you probably like thought of like a bunch of good retorts to like that weird man. Be like, well, no one's like disabled or old that wants to sit here, and when they do, I will move.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, you can't think of anything in that spot. That's a weird situation, especially when he's using expletives at you.
Yeah, I know, and
derogatory-
just in general, if you're going to accuse somebody of being rude, it's probably best not to, be bigoted in your
Right.
name calling.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny too that the one thing that calls you out is like telling a Canadian they're not polite.
It
like-
was.
You can't stand for that. Like that's the one thing where you can't just deal with it. You gotta like say something.
Defend your honor.
And
yeah.
it was especially weird because he looked like Tom Ole from Evolve PR, and I was like,
Nice.
"Is this like Tom's brother? Like, should I
Is
talk
this
to?"
a joke?
Yeah, it's like you didn't like full bore. This is what you get, motherfucker. Anyway, that's the end of my bus story. And I told Kate, and apparently she runs into it all the time, where like someone will be sitting in those seats that are reserved for the elderly, but there'll be like 8 open seats and one elderly person on the bus already sitting in one, and they'll be like, "Young man, where do you go to school? Like, where did they teach you manners?" And people are just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess I'll stand just in case there's some ghost, people with physical disabilities on the bus. Anyway,
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're okay and the drunk guy didn't crash into anything too bad.
yeah, he just cracked the bus up a little bit. That's the end of the bus story. And
Buses have feelings.
what I like about it is that it's so mundane, but it's the closest in my life I think I've ever come to actually getting into a fight. Since public school, at least, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's 3:11. What do we have for gaming news today? Nick, you got a hot button issue.
Oh, I was probably not going to talk about that. Didn't want to get into a fight. How about Angry Birds Transformers was announced? It's Rovio's new Angry Birds game. It's going to have Transformers, and it will be a traditional return to, usual Angry Birds gameplay featuring throwing birds at other birds and pigs.
Sure.
How do you feel about this? You happy?
Whatever.
You look pretty
Fine
happy.
with it.
I don't really care.
I mean, I'm not gonna play it, but I can't hate Angry Birds. I don't care about like what they do and who they are. But like as long as people just keep playing it, I'm fine with that. If people are legitimately enjoying Angry Birds enough to play Angry Birds Transformers, fine, fuck it.
I mean, the
Doesn't
target
matter.
audience for Angry Birds they weren't even, let me rephrase this in a more elegant way. Most of the people
Okay.
who are going to be playing Angry Birds Transformers weren't even conceived yet when the original Angry Birds came out like 4 years ago, right? So
Right.
how am I going to get bent out of shape about this? I played Angry Birds a little bit. It's fun-ish.
Yeah.
It's a cool mobile game. I don't need to play a Transformers version of it because that just sounds like mirroring two things I don't really like or combining two things I don't really like. But sure, new movies coming out makes a lot of sense.
I didn't mean to frame it so negatively, I guess, because honestly, I'm completely indifferent as well. It's just like, it's funny that it's a series of long-running movies that we kind of feel is irrelevant at this point, teaming up with a series of long-running games that might be irrelevant at this point. That's all. I just thought that was funny.
I love that Angry Birds made so much fucking money.
It's crazy, right?
Made all the money.
It's so great. I love it.
Well,
Roxio.
You don't Rovio.
Rovio.
Whatever.
You don't
Roxio
need
makes
me.
the CD burner thing.
That's it. Yeah.
You don't need me to tell you this, but I'm pretty sure Angry Birds Transformers is going to print money. Because when I was in Korea teaching ESL, whenever I would ask people what their favorite movie was, people, I mean like 11-year-old kids, they would all be like, teacher, Transformers is like my fucking life.
It
like
is the shit.
And then they'd be like, I think the third Transformers movie came out when I was there. And like I saw on Rotten Tomatoes it had like a negative 80% or something like that. And I was like, "Did you guys see the new Transformers?" They're like, "Teacher, it fucking blew my mind. It was great." So people love Transformers, at least overseas. And whenever I would be like, "Hey Johnny, how are you today?" They'd be like, "Teacher, I am like Red Angry Bird," and then I'd draw like the Red Angry Bird next to their face on the board. So they would actually describe their emotions as red, yellow, blue, and black Angry Birds. So
I like that. That's cute.
I'm pretty sure that amongst 10 to 15-year-old Korean children, that game is gonna just go crazy.
My brother and my brother, who is obviously the greatest video or movie critic that we know, he's disappointed that Shia LaBeouf is not in it. But he's okay with Mark Wahlberg as a substitute, but it's not going to be the same as without Shia
Your
LaBeouf.
brother strikes me as someone of whom I find that surprising. I feel like
Really?
I feel like in his words, I could easily see him describing Shia LaBeouf as a little bitch and Mark Wahlberg as hard as hell. So for him to,
You got it.
malign the loss of Shia LaBeouf is a little crazy to me. But
I have no idea. I think
It's
he really
okay.
likes Transformers, and like he's become accustomed to Shia LaBeouf being in the
Oh,
Transformers
man.
movies. He is a big fan of Mark Wahlberg. He loves him,
Of course.
but he's just like, it's not going to be the same. I'm just like, I think it's
Maybe that's
probably
a
for the
good thing.
best. Yeah, I don't know.
Transformers 2 is one of the only movies I walked out of in my entire life.
I
Wow.
only ever walked out of a movie.
It
I've
wasn't
fallen
just
asleep during movies.
I didn't
not
like
in the theater.
walk out and go home. I was like, fuck this. I walked out and then snuck my way into another theater, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
That's reasonable.
I was still getting
Paid
my
for a
money's
movie.
worth.
You should see a movie, yeah.
And there was like
Well, I'm glad I brought it up for the stories, if anything.
yeah. That's the end of my Transformers knowledge. I didn't see Transformers 3. I saw Transformers 1. I thought it was super bad as well. And I was like 18. So I think I've just permanently been a cynical piece of garbage, I guess.
Like the man's mad at me
We're all
because
guilty
I,
of that.
I said that I like The Happening.
You like The Happening.
I like The
Wait a
Happening.
minute.
Like you actually
Not as, like,
not
like,
ironically.
No, a little bit ironically. Like I think who the
Little
hell's
bit.
the director? The
M.
hell?
Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. I think he knew exactly what was going on in that movie. Like it's completely ridiculous and preposterous, and like the acting is like, like the people in this movie can act, but then like when they're like robotic, you're just like, all right, something's weird here. And like,
How did they get them to act so strangely? What did
Yeah,
they do to them?
That's why I liked it. It was amazing. That was really, really interesting.
They
When,
were like
just
body
that part.
snatchers. Like they took them away and put some other actors in their place.
Exactly. It's batshit crazy, and I loved it.
When I
Like,
watched
I've only
it,
watched it the one time.
I've seen
and
it
I-
like 4 times.
All right, then that's
Wow.
not my fault.
And the first time I watched it, I was like, I was really into this phase where I was into watching movies that were so bad they're good. And I was like, I think that this might just be crazy enough that M. Night Shyamalan actually did want this movie to be bad, basically.
He was in on the joke.
Yeah, but then I watched a little bit, like I watched it 3 or 4 more times, and I was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is actually just like really shitty. But the
That's where I
scene
land.
where like they're in the train station, and the woman is like, "Oh my god, take a look at this video," and then the dude's in the lion cage at the zoo, and he's just like, and then the lion like rips off one of his arms, and then he turns around and like the other lion rips off his other arm, and he's just walking around with no arms. That's some movie making genius right there.
It's I don't know. I like it because it's that absurd. Like I think it knows exactly what it's doing, and I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that. I watched like decent actors be like not that good at their jobs, and I was like, all right, that's fine with me.
They sounded like they were all on cough medicine or something. Like they were all just completely out of their element in that movie. They didn't know what acting meant anymore.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
I'm fine with that happening. I'm cool with it.
It's fine.
All
Also,
right.
Grandma's Boy is pretty good. And this
Nice.
is an ice pack for chat, in case you're wondering. My head's hot, so I put an ice pack on my neck.
Angry Birds Transformers coming out.
Good story.
Coming out.
What else?
Watch Dogs original graphics found in the game files for the PC version makes it look like the E3 demo from 2012-2013. That's crazy. Like for all the people that like were pissed when Watch Dogs came out and be like it's not like that pretty, like this fixes that. And like I mean I can't say too much. I haven't played it. I've watched like a few little like the videos of people like playing it in this form and like screenshots, and it looks really good. Apparently plays really well as well. Like really well as well.
That was that was the thing that got to me, is that apparently it fixes performance issues like stuttering.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, graphics are one thing, but if it makes your game run better,
Yeah.
now we got to talk a little bit.
What I will say about this is that it is a story that looks like really damning for Ubisoft to start with, right? Because
Yeah.
You gotta link the thing you linked to me, because it just shut me up immediately.
Well,
I was like,
the temptation, of course, is to just be like, like conspiracy theory is like either they handicapped the PC version of the game to make it appear like closer to the console versions, like the next gen versions of the game, so that none of them look like really inferior or superior versions, or that they, if you take it to the next level, were like paid off by one of the or both of the console manufacturers to make that happen. And I can understand people jumping to that conclusion. And I see a lot of websites also, quote unquote professional journalists kind of positing that as well. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of thing that I'm not necessarily saying like, Ubisoft's in the right, but maybe just hold off until they make some kind of
announcement,
official statement about it. Because maybe, I don't know everything about how games are actually produced. I saw a bunch of people on Reddit positing that, maybe it's the kind of thing where they just didn't QA it. Like or they QA'd it and it looked like it would not be up to the standards for the amount of people it has to be up to the standards for it to be considered for release. Like maybe it works for 80% of people, but 20% of people, if they tried to run it on those settings, would like blue screen or something like that. So I have no idea how QA stuff like that actually works in the industry, and neither do most people. So I'm just waiting for some kind of official statement that can, probably then be refuted by people online anyway. But it is one of those stories that sends like, well, it doesn't send fucking chills down your spine, but it seems scummy for sure. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know what statement
idea
they could even make that would be good. If anything, they should just not comment. I think would be the smartest thing they could do.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
I think if they came out and they were like, it wouldn't be like what you see is just like something that wouldn't work for the majority of people that were playing the game, and like we scaled it down so that it would be more, I don't know, accessible or something like that. At least it would lead to them addressing it. If they just go no comment, I think it leaves like the open to interpretation, which is something like they're already getting the worst case scenario. So,
and a lot of people are pulling out like pitchforks and just being like, if this is happening all the time, then that's pretty fucked up. And that is true. It is pretty fucked up. It's happening all the time, and we only have this one instance that it is like it's right there. If these are actually in the game files, then so be it. But like I don't know, like if there's so much that like negativity that can be spawned from this. It's unreal. But like
that's why I didn't want to introduce the story.
It's worth talking about. It's the biggest
I think it's
news
definitely
today.
worth talking about.
Yeah.
It sucks because the internet has like the pitchforks and will bring them to every like table that they want to. But people deserve to be angry for some reasons. People don't deserve to be angry for others. That's just what you want to be angry at. If you want to be mad at Ubisoft, and if they did it, and if they're shitty scums, and then whatever, I guess.
Look,
hopefully,
if their statement makes it clear, or if they don't make a statement, or if that statement makes it clear that like this is something they did to keep console parity close or something like that, that's super shitty, and I can understand people being really angry about that.
I think more people would be accepting if they did come out and say that we did this because we wanted the console disparity to be minimal. And I think that would teach them a lesson almost.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
They would never say it though.
Yeah,
they would never have the balls to say that.
that's a ballsy ass statement, and the only reason that you would follow, like you would make that ballsy statement, is to just correct that mistake and never do that again. I think if they do go down the route that Ryan was talking about, it's just like, oh, it's a QA thing. We don't want to bring it up because it was only working on 80% of computers. We wanted it to work on like all of them, or like at least like 95%.
Yeah.
If they go down that route, it's it could be the truth. It could just be PR BS, but who knows?
Yeah,
but I think it's definitely a topic like worth talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. It's super weird. I do think that it is one of those things that people are jumping to conclusions on, and I wanted to say that I think people do have reason to be angry if it comes out that that is like indeed why they held the graphics down a little bit, because obviously I come across as kind of being like ho hum, who cares about pixels and graphics and stuff like that. This would be a situation where like actually it's like, well, you're actively making the game a lot worse when you could be just allowing it to be better just for marketing reasons, which I think is really shitty. But I also think that there could be a more innocuous explanation for it. And the reason I'm kind of being a little ho-hum about it so far is because, again, I am so like ignorant of the practices of actually like releasing games that there may be some kind of standards that they have internally that they would hold it to that couldn't be reached with those. Maybe. Or maybe it's a super shitty marketing play to make the next-gen versions not look bad.
Yeah.
But it does seem crazy to me that they would do that when they would probably sell so many more copies on PC if they didn't have to deal with this like graphical controversy about it not looking as good as it did for E3. So that's kind of what I'm getting over is like, would it be worth maintaining parity between the PC and console releases versus like, because my hunch is they would just sell a lot better on PC if they just made it look as good as it already does, which is the implication here.
But if Sony's billing it as one of their main releases, like, wouldn't they want to do everything they can to make sure that they have the best-looking game and not have that be taken away from by the PC crowd?
Well, maybe
doesn't that seem like an easy narrative? It does to me.
But that's what I mean. Like, so my hunch is kind of that, not my hunch, but one possible explanation is that they did do everything they could to make it look as good as possible, and for some reason, even though they wanted the game to look better, it just didn't work out from like a testing standpoint or something like that. And again, I'm not taking Ubisoft's side in this. I'm just saying that.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. Just
keep
the pitchforks at bay for now.
Devil's advocate on in some regard. You gotta don't jump to conclusions with this. No one really knows like what's going on right now except the actual developers.
Look, if you have like a super low end computer, or if this ends up being consistently what happens, if people have like low end computers, they download this and they can play Watch Dogs with E3 2012 or 2013 quality visuals and less performance hits, then that's going to be hard for me to reconcile with what I just said. That kind of gives Ubisoft the benefit of the doubt for now.
Right.
But until there's more data, I don't really want to get too crazy with accusations and stuff like that. But it is totally possible that this is a marketing play. I don't know how the marketing side works either. So,
well,
anyway.
I'm going to download it tonight and benchmark
a game
it.
that was touted as like to be like the next gen experience, and then tone it down, and then someone on the internet manages to find out that there's these hidden graphics somewhere with I don't know, just makes the game like look how the game was supposed to be meant to played.
If it is a marketing thing, man, just delete those files next time.
Yeah, why don't they ever get that? Just delete them. They're gonna find them every goddamn time.
But that's like the comment that I linked you to, Nick, was mentioning that this is kind of a very similar thing to what happened with Dark Souls 1 on PC and the DS fix. And nobody really accused From Software of like hiding the files that made the game look better. It was more just like incompetence, I guess, or like they'd never released something.
Right,
or maybe
it was like their first PC game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was a port of a game that was kind of badly put together in the first place. So it seemed like in the given amount of time they had that it would have been a lot harder to expect more from them than that.
Yeah, basically. So, the files, or not files, but, the stuff that made Dark Souls, or DS Fix actually make Dark Souls 1 look a lot better is just stuff that was in the files to begin with. So, I don't know. It's just weird. It's a weird story. People are going to find that shit now. There's that story where the people that were digging into SimCity 2013's files basically found out that you can totally make the game offline.
Oh,
only.
yeah.
Right.
So you could even like go farther down the rabbit hole and like look at like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas when it first came out with the hot coffee mod.
Yeah, true.
It's just like these files exist in the game. They're like there, but like not completely deleted. Whether the developer wanted them there or not in the end doesn't really matter because they're still there in the end.
Yeah. Agreed.
But they can kind of claim plausible deniability if it's like not within the grasp of a normal user, I guess. Which
Sure,
only
kinda,
really
but
matters for legal reasons.
It still
when
doesn't
comes to,
matter because the backlash is gonna be
everybody
backlash
loves Rocket
regardless.
Oh,
Whether
I
it's
know.
they could say that it's not their fault, but they did it. So what do you?
I'm just saying, in the case of the hot coffee mod, like if they're talking about an ESRB rating and they get sued over it,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, well, you can't
yeah.
claim
Yeah.
that that's really their fault.
Yeah, I gotcha on that one. Agreed.
Very, very weird story. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. I'm sure Ubisoft is like, fuck, man, this has been, like, we just got over one PR nightmare,
Yeah.
and now we got, like, another one.
They're lining up all the interns.
Yeah.
Which one of you fuckers did this?
I'm going to be so happy when we can stop talking about Watch Dogs, and in particular, Watch Dogs graphics. Because if you don't like Watch Dogs, it looking really good is not going to change that. And I know that's kind of not the point. The point is, like, oh, it looked like this, and now they're handicapping the game. I get that. But seriously, like, if you think that game's bad, it's not bad because it looks subpar. It's bad because it's, unoriginal, doesn't live up to the hype, blah, blah, blah. So the only reason I kind of resent talking about stuff like this is because I feel like it detracts from what I feel personally are more important issues with that game, like, why is the story so fucking bad? Like, why is Aiden Pierce the worst character in AAA gaming that I've experienced in a long time? And this is coming from someone who actually thinks the game is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
He's a pretty bad character. I completely agree.
he's really bad.
Actually, both of those points. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Watch Dogs.
I look forward to installing the mod and trying it myself.
I'm interested
I
to
look
see
forward
what
to
you think about it.
Yeah. Let me know.
Yeah, I'll try it tonight.
What else do we have for news? It seemed like kind of a slow news day. The biggest, I knew it was a slow
there it
news
is.
day because John Drake leaving Harmonix was like the number 4 story on our games. And, you know, John Drake, PR guy who's worked at Harmonix for like 7 years, and no disrespect to him at all, but it's crazy that that's such big news, like mainstream wise.
Mojang server stuff.
Yeah.
Monetization. I don't know.
That's like very a niche thing. Like, I don't think a lot of people even care about that, right?
There are people making like hundreds of thousands of dollars on Minecraft servers that care, but I don't think that's any
from,
of
like,
us.
little kids.
Yeah.
They announced Little Big Planet 3 is coming to the PS3. I think that's kind of neat.
That's cool.
I mean, I have a PS4 now, so I can get it for that. But like, if you didn't have one, that's really cool because now it's going to be backward compatible with all the previous levels, and presumably, maybe some of the content will be able to filter forward into the new version of it. So, if you're a fan of the game, I assume this would be really happy news for everybody.
That is good news. Did anybody get in with the Destiny Alpha this weekend? I guess it was only PS4. So, Nick, did you get in with the Destiny Alpha?
I was so busy playing Infamous, I literally never launched it, although I downloaded the whole thing. Is it
well,
over now?
They've extended it, actually, by popular demand.
Oh, maybe I'll do that tonight.
I played probably like 2 hours of the Destiny Alpha this weekend. The not single player, but the campaign MMO stuff, I don't really understand. But the multiplayer is kind of like a control points type multiplayer mode in there. Right now, I thought it was a lot of fun. It feels a lot like, you know, Halo multiplayer, obviously, because it's coming from Bungie. But it's also got like some kind of superpowers into it. So you have almost like an ultimate, the same way you would have in a MOBA, that you can cast after you get a certain amount of points over the course of the game, and you know that can be something like a huge fireball or like psionic blast that basically
Like
instant
a
kills.
Call of Duty perk?
Sort of. You could. Because it does kind of work like kill streaks, but like more like the kill streaks in Ghosts, I guess, where it wasn't based on number of kills, it was based on like points. Maybe that is how it worked in Black Ops 2. I can't remember anyway.
I think so.
But yeah, it was. It's pretty cool. I played a couple hours of that, and for the most part, enjoyed it. The only negative thing I've heard about it is that people think that Peter Dinklage's voice acting in the actual like single player campaign or the campaign is like really bad. Even though he's supposed to be playing a robot.
Yeah. That sucks. What's this? I didn't realize, like, apparently I know jack shit about Destiny, but it's like MMO-ish?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So there's also like an adversarial multiplayer mode that is like standalone. But you permanently gain levels and like spec points into your character by gaining experience and stuff like that in the multiplayer mode or in the campaign. Or the adversarial multiplayer.
Okay.
Anyway. It's cool. I don't know, you know, if I'm more excited for it than I was because I just wasn't aware of what it was going to be, and I think it could be the kind of cool thing to play multiplayer wise. I probably won't play the campaign though, just because that MMO stuff is beyond me for the most part.
Is it just grindy or something?
No, it seemed fine. It's just like I don't really. It's kind of weird to me, like seeing enemies' health bars and then you just like hold the trigger on them until they die. Like I don't think it's necessarily bad. It's just the kind of thing that feels weird to me. It feels a lot like the gunplay in Borderlands, which I was not.
I was just gonna say Borderlands.
It got a lot of Borderlands-y type, praise and criticism from people that were playing it.
Okay.
It is the same thing where you get a lot of loot as well. So it is like the RPG elements are really, really strong.
Loot. All right, I'm gonna play that tonight. Actually,
there is loot. Yeah. And yeah, they extended the beta. It was supposed to end yesterday, I think, but they've put it further. I don't know how much longer though. So that's cool. There's another news story where this just came out today in the DreamHack Hearthstone finals. There's like a really weird instance of what could either be cheating or just like really unfortunate kind of like accidental cheating. So there's a match between the two people in the finals, and you know how when you load up the Hearthstone client, like people can just message you if they're on your friends list.
Yeah.
The finals were live streamed, so like one of the dudes who was playing, he had someone on his friends list that messaged him like basically code words for what the other person had in their hand and what their secrets were. And
that's some bullshit.
And he ended up winning, and that there's like a $5,000 difference between what first and second got. So it's pretty substantial, especially if you're a pro gamer and that's like your livelihood and your ability to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But what people are wondering now is like, or they're trying to figure out whether it was intentional or whether it's accidental, because there really is no way to figure out whether it's malicious deliberately, because people can just message you. Like you can. The only way to stop people from messaging you is basically to like delete them as a friend. Otherwise, there's no like do not disturb, no setting to stop chat from popping up, stuff like that. So someone could just like pop into your like watch your live streamed game and be like your opponent has this, and even if you didn't want them to, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty crazy.
I don't know. I'd say that's a whole lot of bullshit.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah. I don't like that one bit.
It sucks for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's like, does this like it questions the dude's integrity? Like, is he actually worthy of winning this? Could he have? I don't know.
Yeah, if the dude was deliberately cheating, then it doesn't suck for him.
No.
But it okay, so it wasn't code words. They were actually just speaking Romanian, and I thought it was codes. My bad. But yeah, like if he wasn't deliberately cheating, then yeah, this calls him into question, and
Does he speak Romanian?
Yes.
All right, no, it's cheating.
I don't. Well, he's from Romania.
Doesn't matter. He's got to fucking if someone is telling you
Romanian code
answers,
words.
You got to at least say fucking like, all right, well, time out. I know what you have in your hand. Could we like restart this or do something?
He did call.
You can't just be like, oh, I didn't see it.
He called like an admin over after the game to be like, to say something.
Oh,
but what people are mad about is that like the DreamHack organizers, which is where the tournament is happening right now, they didn't like allow for a remake. They were talking about like maybe we'll like have a rematch, but then they just decided like no, we're just not going to do it for whatever reason. I'm sure they have okay reasons.
Okay,
they just
all right,
patch in a freaking checkbox that turns off chat.
Yeah.
If he went to an admin afterwards, I'm cool with that. I think.
Yeah. It's pretty wild, like
Josh hates Romanian.
That's what I thought you were coming from. I was like, what
No. He speaks Romanian, so someone told him like his opponent's hand in Romanian. He speaks the language. He understands what he's saying.
Well, he's from Romania, so he would have like people.
You were talking like he's talking in code.
Well, it was code for me. I didn't know what he was saying.
It sounded like only Romanian was happening for cheating reasons, I think, is what we were saying. Like that was his code language or something. I don't know.
I think what people are hoping to see is that Blizzard will like implement the most basic features of setting yourself to do not disturb or like appear offline or something like that. Yeah, that seems pretty obvious to me. It's shitty that it had to happen though, but I guess that's how you learn in sports like this and in like new esports, quote unquote. Hopefully this thing exactly doesn't happen again, but I'm sure there'll be other controversies in the future.
Absolutely.
Right.
And that's what we have our news segment for.
Yep. Raising awareness for problems like this. Doing the world a world of good.
Mm-hmm. And
The
how?
world of goo. Boy, howdy.
Don't talk to me about World of Goo, Nick.
Why? You don't like it?
I like it.
Why did you not work on World of Goo?
I didn't work on World of
I worked
Goo,
on
no.
Braid.
I tested Braid, yeah.
Fez 3D is where it's at, though.
Oh, Team Meat in Minecraft.
It was a cool. I like doing that video. For people who are, there's no way to ever answer this question for enough people to see it, but the AMA may indeed come out at some point. The commentary is intended to be included in the digital editions of Indie Game the Movie as like an optional audio track, the same way the existing Team Meat commentary is. So I'm not going to be posting that on my channel. Some people were like, why don't you just black out the video and post it on your channel? Well, like the audio from the movie is still totally not my intellectual property. But yeah, they're going to work on making that happen if it doesn't need to be scrapped because it's super offensive, which was a lot of fun. Like, legitimately a lot of fun. So yeah, hopefully that ends up coming out. Maybe the AMA will come out. I still have to talk to James and Lizanne, and which means they'll have to talk to their people, and we'll see.
We'll have to in turn talk to your people.
I don't have people, Josh. What do you mean, my people?
Kate.
You have Kate.
I do have Kate, yeah.
She's your people.
Put Kate on the phone.
Yeah.
Kate, talk to these people for me.
Be my representative.
Apart from that, there's free expansion for speedrunners, which has 4 new character designs. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. I always like speedrunners.
Yeah, we're going to be playing a little bit of that later today.
Spikes don't in that game anymore.
Spikes don't what?
Kill you in that game
They
anymore. I
just
think they just
slow
slow you down. Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
We'll see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
I trust that if they changed it, they had a good reason, but I kind of liked that.
It's Samus.
They said it was because it was too hard for people to predict them coming up or something.
Fucking casual.
You just
right?
race the maps 400 times and then you figure it out.
I know. That's what I said.
I know.
Sleeping Dogs HD was let slip. Is that a thing you guys care about? We're doing HD remakes of HD games now because they weren't HD enough before. So this is potentially a higher resolution version of Sleeping Dogs coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. The PC one, I'm not exactly sure I understand.
Yeah.
It's got resolution settings in it.
That's like Sleeping
maybe
Dogs.
They remastered the textures already.
Sleeping Dogs only came out in 2012, so
right.
You know, I know people love Sleeping Dogs. I don't really understand picking up the PC remastered edition of Sleeping Dogs. But I think maybe what this might just be is like, because this is Square Enix, who also did the Tomb Raider HD re-release like a year after it came out. I'm pretty sure this is their way of like recouping losses on those games, because they said that you know, both of them, whether you believe this or not, they went on record as saying they were both commercial failures. And Sleeping Dogs has really gone through kind of like, well, it's kind of loved, right? It's kind of the same way Just Cause 2 was, I think, where when it came out, it was like a pleasant surprise, and then it's kind of even grown in popularity since then, especially as more and more games in that genre come out and kind of disappoint people. So I think it'll sell well. I think it's probably a good decision that probably doesn't cost them a lot of money, but it is super fucking weird that it's coming out, an HD remake's coming out 2 years after the HD game.
Yeah, you can't wait till Just Cause 2's, remake comes out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just Cause 2.0.
Well, Just Cause, or Just Cause 2. Yeah. That's even more in need of an HD remake, because that came out in like 2009. That's ancient history at this point. I'm waiting for the...
It still looks pretty good, though. Like, I remember playing it, a couple years ago. And
the view distance is crazy good.
Absolutely. It's a fun game.
Boy, how. And howdy.
I'm looking forward to the HD remake of Destiny. I'm pretty excited for that.
You just include it in the season pass, right? At the end of the 4 DLC packs, you just get the HD remaster version and then get to start the season pass all over again to get the HD versions of the DLC you just bought.
I'm actually hoping that in 2015 you see the HD remastered of The Last of Us remastered, because, The Last of Us looks...
4K.
The Last of Us looks bad, and I'm pretty sure that The Last of Us remastered is going to look okay, but I'm really looking for like a remastered version of the remastered version so that I can truly get The Last of Us experience.
Next year, this is still rumored, but they're going to say that they're going to be making MLB The Show 14 remastered.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to be real good.
And they'll work their way backward through the years.
They stop making new ones. In like 20 years, they're doing like...
Oh my god, that's the reddest I've seen Josh get, I think.
I fucking love that idea so much.
We'll start at 14, we'll go 13, 12, and so on down the line.
Well, they're going to have to remake every game anyway once the Oculus is actually super available to the public, right? So they might as well just get a head start on it now, because we know that that's going to change the face of video gaming forever.
Mhm.
Might as well get those
You know what
teams
else might
practice.
change? Something else that might change this face of video games forever is the Steam Boy. Have you heard?
I've not heard of the Steam Boy.
The Steam Boy is the portable Steam machine of the future. It's not being made by Valve, but a third party on a journey to create a handheld Steam, I guess partially streaming, but also just like can actually play local games on it device. And it's not super powerful. And we don't know much about the battery life at this point, but it looks fancy, I guess.
So, like, you
I'll
could
link
be able
this
to
in the
play, like,
chat so you guys can see.
Thomas Was Alone on your.
Yeah, Thomas Was
Cool thing.
Alone will probably work fine on it. Just can't like
Yeah.
play the new Battlefield or something.
So it's a
Okay.
Vita, basically.
Yeah, or like a less powerful Nvidia Shield, as far as I can tell.
You're always talking about the NVIDIA Shield, Nick.
Why are you always talking about the
I'm
Nvidia
constantly-
Shield?
because I bought one and I have to justify my purchase. That's why. If it doesn't get some FaceTime on the NLSS, what was the point, right?
That's true. You gotta every time you mention it, NVIDIA sends you back like $2.50.
It's actually 3 pennies in an envelope. They could have just sent me another stamp, but they wouldn't. I don't know. Nvidia doesn't pay me for anything.
Not even stamps. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that is crazy. Return to sender, I say.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
Well, that's
And
pretty much
how.
it as far as news goes. There are some new releases this week. EA UFC comes out tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that.
You could be Bruce Lee.
No, I can be Fred Durst.
He's a
You could be Fred
teapot.
Durst.
I can fight Bruce Lee as Fred Durst. I downloaded the demo and played like half an hour of the demo. UFC is fucking brutal, man. Like, there are times I'll like punch a dude in the face so hard his brain shuts down. He's unconscious.
Oh my god.
But then you can like do a flying punch while he's unconscious and then land on top of him and pummel him in the head a few times while he's already unconscious, because the ref doesn't call the fight, because that would be a shame if he wasn't actually dead, right? And they called the fight. So they're like, just get like 6 or 7 more face punches in there, and if he doesn't react, then we'll call the fight. It's a very brutal sport. I admire it in its insanity that, you know, we're not hunting like, you know, tigers on the savannah anymore, so instead we just like beat the shit out of each other.
Shouldn't you like go to jail if you're beating up an unconscious man?
None of it's televised.
Not if you're in the octagon. That's
Yeah.
the rules.
The octagon is its own, it's got its own jurisprudence, so
I don't want to go in that octagon then.
you don't have to go in the octagon.
No.
That's why
Durst has
Bruce
to
Lee
go in
does
the
it for
octagon.
me.
Also, I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that EA UFC might actually turn out to be not very good.
Oh,
Dan
good.
Glickman says Josh mentioned the volume cover. Volume has artwork and looks really good.
It does look good.
Mike Bithel's volume.
I played enough UFC to be like, I'm probably going to get it, but I think it might actually be really bad.
You got to get something, right? It's next gen.
It's
This gen.
It looks
It's
it looks pretty good.
What gen is it anyway?
it's current gen. Current gen software. When's
Like-
the next Genesis gonna come out?
You know,
That's
they
what I'm waiting.
ever since Phil Collins and Peter Gabriel had a falling out, it's just, you know, I think we lost our chance for a new Genesis after Suzudio.
Ugh. That's
Called the
bullshit.
next Genesis. I like
That's
it.
what I'm saying, man.
Anyway.
Sega that comes from left field and wins it.
Yeah, that's likely. They have a really good
There's never
software,
going to be another console after the next Genesis.
really
Dreamcast
confidence-inspiring software lineup Sega's put out recently. Colonial Marines, you know, all those new Sonic games. They've been really knocking it out of the park in the past year or so.
Don't say mean things about Sonic.
What's the new Sonic game called? Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom. You think it's
Yeah.
gonna have the song Sonic Boom in it?
Sonic
know.
Boom, Sonic
If it doesn't
Boom,
just have like Guile's
Sonic
theme throughout the whole thing, and I'm over it.
Probably the second most hate I've ever gotten for a YouTube video was the video where I said I think Sonic Boom is a shitty song. People got like fucking riled up.
You
What's
said
Sonic
that?
Boom? How does Sonic Boom
Sonic
go?
The
Boom's the
Sonic
song-
CD theme song.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like
I don't
it.
even know it. That's gonna piss
Go
off someone, I'm sure.
Look it up on YouTube. You'll love it. I guarantee it.
Well, in any case. It's 3:47. Let's run some ads, and we'll get some fan mail going on as well. nlssfanmail@gmail.com. I don't know what I'm going to even ask you about today. It seems like the Watch Dogs issue is kind of hot button, so if you have thoughts on that, feel free to send them over. Otherwise, How was your weekend? I hope you enjoyed it. Why don't you tell me about it so that we can fill a little bit more time before we start playing a Wizard's Lizard. But in any case, thanks for watching so far. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
I'm not going to run ads. There's 36 people in my room.
You don't know that.
I guess I don't, but I also don't want to run ads. This stream looks like garbage. Dropped 79% of the frames.
Ooh.
Ow.
Twitch changed.
You know what I think it is?
Overlay, or it's.
I dropped 480. I wonder what happened.
I think what it is I think Skype, we launched that stuff first before I launched OBS, so it probably got the bandwidth set up on Skype as like high def, and then I didn't have bandwidth left to stream.
Oh, Nick, you got to start using XSplit, dog. XSplit will solve all your problems.
It's true.
XSplit was made by Jesus Christ himself.
And if you don't know, he was a carpenter. So
Exactly.
he knows a little bit about, architecture and structural integrity when it comes to the internet.
Would you tell me before that I should do like a bump of the pot off of a copy of Ayn Rand's whatever the hell?
Atlas Shrugged. Yeah, do
Atlas
a
Shrugged.
bump of legal atheist weed off of the
that's
cover
good.
of Atlas Shrugged. And I spelled Atlas wrong, and I didn't notice it till the end. And then when I saw it, I was like, that's even better.
It is better. Okay.
Let's see what the
Does
score
XSplit
is.
let me like cover my bandwidth so I can like make it less for certain parts of things?
Oh, the Ghana game.
Yeah, US is up 1-0.
Damn right. Because I coached them this year.
Yeah, I didn't know you were Jurgen Klinsmann.
Jurgen.
That's his
great
name.
I believe it. I love it.
I'm sorry, he's not named something American like
No,
Blast.
I think that's the most American. There's nothing
Jurgen.
not American about that name.
Jurgen is the most American name.
What's wrong? Every name is technically could be a potential American name.
Okay,
That's what makes us great.
sure.
Can't say the same thing about Canada.
You can't really.
Well,
no.
but if the name is too long, we just say it's not a name anymore and say your name is now Smith.
No,
That's
they
true,
used
yeah.
to do that. We're in 1936 Ellis Island over here, Nick.
You don't know where I am.
I guess you're right.
It could
Technically.
be anywhere, in any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even look at the fan mail yet. I should probably do that.
Might be bigger on
I
the
always
inside.
do that.
More like spam mail.
A lot of it is unreadable on the air. There's no
What is
question about
this?
that.
Angry Birds Transformers screenshot.
Yeah, that's pretty
Let's have a
good.
look.
I don't like seeing an Angry Birds.
It's authentic.
Yeah, I'm gonna retweet that.
That's not how
Thank you,
Angry
Meg.
Birds looks. Don't lie to
No, it
me.
looks pretty correct to me.
McGrest is lying.
That's not a real screenshot.
I hope it is. It looks right to me.
And now, please
What's the thing in the...
read the unreadable. You don't want that. Well, we are back from ads. So there we go. Okay. Here's an interesting insight on the Watch Dogs issue from Derek Charles. He says that the email is titled, "One reason why developers do not delete files that are not released." So, like, why they didn't just cover their tracks if it is indeed malicious. The reason why developers do not fully delete files from their game is usually due to testing requirements that it brings up. There are different testing cycles, usually ending with a full game regression and a build verification. Any change has to be looked at and regressed. Depending on the size of the change, it could be a simple bug regression or a full game regression. Now, if they hide a major system, it generally only requires a quick bug regression to make sure it's not enabled anymore. If they remove it completely, they have to do a full game regression to make sure the deleted files are not causing issues for other places in the game. Not saying it justifies or validates Ubisoft in any way, just that this is my experience from a former QA lead. You would be surprised how much crap breaks even when they don't make any changes to it. Thank you for that insight, Derek. I'll be honest, I understood about 20% of it, but it sounds like you know what you're talking about. And
yeah, things that take long amounts of time, want to avoid those, got to ship the game at a certain date. I think that's kind of where he's going with it.
Yeah.
I appreciate the insight, too. That was a good email.
Still looking forward to seeing if Ubisoft makes an actual statement.
An official
about
statement, yeah. Oh, we didn't know those files existed.
Oh, did you do the force hand gesture when you did that?
No, well, I made hand
These
gestures,
are not the
but
files you were looking for.
I wish I did that. These are not the
Far
files.
Cry 4. Watch Dogs doesn't exist anymore. It's Far Cry 4.
Far Cry 4 is our next gen.
Jedi Lion.
Somebody asked if we can get a Wizard Wars server for the NLSS. We can't because there's no private lobbies. So at some point, maybe there will be, and that would be cool. Lots of speculation on Watch Dogs. Lots of questions about Fred Durst. Here's one for you, Nick. Doran Thee says, you've expressed your opinions on other nu metal bands and Disturbed, which stopped being nu metal after Believe. But what the fuck about Korn? As the end. Nick, how do you feel about Korn and its superstar frontman Jonathan Davis?
Well, back in high school, when I was a big fan of bands like Limp Bizkit and Slipknot, I really genuinely, unironically enjoyed Korn a whole bunch. That was in the Follow the Leader era. Although I did go backward from that point and slightly forward from that point. But there was a cutoff line where I started to enjoy bands that were a little bit more in the hardcore direction, Poison the Well from Autumn to Ashes and such. So I started to differentiate a little bit, and I found that Jonathan Davis kind of whined a lot, and it was a little awkward. But, he still made some good music, and I guess I can even appreciate it in a nostalgic kind of way, but I can't say that I unironically enjoy it the way I did back then.
Was Korn's Follow the Leader, is that the one that had Freak on a Leash?
Yes, it was.
That's the only Korn
song
I know.
The first, 12 tracks had no sound on them for some reason.
That's really artsy. Some Metal Machine music shit right there.
Yeah.
Josh, you like Metal Machine music. Was it you who was telling me that?
Metal Machine music.
Oh, it wasn't you. It's somebody else.
Probably.
Yeah,
Actually.
Metal Machine
Like
music.
in industrial shit? Is that what they call
Well, it's
that
a Lou
nowadays?
Reed album that is basically just industrial noises. For like
I
45
love Lou
minutes.
Reed. I don't think I've ever listened to that, though.
Someone told me they
Reed
really
it?
loved Metal Machine music, and I was like, all right. it's just
New
sound.
York is an amazing album by Lou Reed. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
for sure.
Los Angeles is pretty good too. All the coastal cities, Miami.
I hate you.
Anyway,
All right.
oh, here we go. Paul Johnson says, hey guys, really enjoyed the show. Just received a new PC today, and I've got the itch to go ham on the Steam store. However, the rumors are that the summer sale starts June 19th. Should I wait, or should I satisfy my urges immediately? Are there any games or genres I should expect won't be discounted? This is from Paul Johnson. Rumor has it the Steam sale starts on the 19th, and the other rumor I've heard is that it actually starts tomorrow, and I kind of... Generally, they're not too tricky about it. You can pretty much go to steampower.com and then look at like the coming soon tab, and if there's not 10 games coming out on a day, then that oftentimes means that that's when the sale starts. So it looks like from like the 17th to the 24th, there's almost nothing coming out.
Cool.
Which means that I would suspect that those rumors are probably true and the Steam sale is probably going to start this week. You're going to kick yourself if you don't wait. You really wait another day or two, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Don't buy anything immediately. Unless it just came out, then chances are that it might not go down in price, but it might. Who knows?
Even stuff like if you've been waiting on a sale for like Dark Souls, or you've been waiting to play Dark Souls 2 on PC, I would wait until the sale goes on, because that might come down at least 15, 20, 25% somewhere in that
I could
range.
see that happening, yeah, for sure. The game came out last year last year on consoles, right?
No, it was March. This is like
it March?
3 months ago, yeah.
No, PC was in March.
Yeah, they were both. Well, PC was in early
It was like a
April,
month apart, man.
and then
Oh.
Dark
Maybe
Souls
I'm
2
just
was in
dumb.
March.
I don't know.
It was
It's
a
only been
long
3
time.
months, man.
Yeah, my timeline's so jacked up. I have no idea. What year is it?
When we
I'm
got our
still on the
360
plane.
versions, it felt like it was like 2 weeks of us trying to figure out that game, even though it was like 2.5 days.
Yeah, I'm still on the plane. Flying slab.
Yeah, so I would definitely wait. Let's put it this way: the only thing you're gonna gain by not waiting is an extra few days of playing a game. And there's pretty much blanket sales as soon as like the sale starts. Almost everything in the entire store will be discounted at least a little bit. So I'm actually kind of excited for the summer sale more than I have been in recent past. And I know I bitch about a lot of games coming out on Steam all the fucking time, but also that means that there's a lot of stuff that I haven't picked up. So I hope that there's, something different than your standard, like Darksiders 2, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Gary's Mod. What are the other games?
Darksiders games. Apparently they're a lot of fun. I just haven't.
If you buy them now, you're probably not going to play them.
Yeah.
I bought one
Actually,
in...
keep them in like humble bundles, like all the time, apparently.
Yeah, they did a couple like THQ bundles, and then like, post THQ, like a Deep Silver bundle, I think, after Deep Silver bought the Darksiders license. So, yeah, I hope that there's some new stuff. There's some stuff I'd be interested to maybe check out now that there's more games on Steam. But I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be, Super Meat Boy Isaac, Bastion, Global Offensive, TF2, Just Cause 2, etc., etc. Oh, sorry, not TF2. I don't know what I meant instead of TF2, but
it's all good.
Yeah, I am a little bit more excited for it now. Mm-hmm. Cool. Thank you for the question. Wait, your net. But what I will say is, don't get riled up if you buy something for $5 and then it goes on sale for $2 later. People are going to try to make you think you have a smaller dick because of that. It's not true. Okay, your dick is the same size, irregardless of what you pay for your video games.
Well, okay, maybe it's a little bit tinier, but yeah, it's close. It's very close.
I hate when like a game goes 80% off and then the next day it goes 90% off and people were like, "Oh, I've paid like 10% too much for this game." And I'm like, well, at some point you lose the right to complain. If it's like a 50-cent difference and you got an extra day of gameplay, then
it's the people that want to make you feel like you're a fiscal dumbass because you didn't wait or something. Yeah. Like, you didn't know either. I think it was all just a gamble.
Yeah, the thing about the Steam sales is if it's not like a daily special, you can wait till the end because it'll get that. Yeah. It'll be that price the whole time. But if you buy it when it's not on the daily sale, you run the risk of it being maybe like 25 to 30% more on sale. I guess.
I just hate I don't hate it, but I think it's a product of like half of Steam being people who use it as like a store and a place to like organize their games and discover games, and then the other half of people use it as like a collection service, sort of, to like cultivate or like curate as many games as they can as cheap as possible. The same way like people would get into collecting like hockey cards or something like that, or baseball cards. They'd be like, I picked up this like Jose Canseco rookie card for $20 when normally it's $60. Like, aren't I a genius? And it's cool that there is kind of an element of that, but I hate when people are like, you told me to buy LA Noire yesterday when it was 75% off, and then it's like 80% off today. Like, I'm so mad at you. And I'm like, sorry.
I just wait for deals that are like, they can't really get any better. Like, if they're better, then I'm not going to be upset either way that I spent the $2 difference.
Yeah, exactly. It just in general, like
if you want to play the game today, buy it.
Yeah.
If you don't,
that's a good
way
to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're like really worried about stuff like that, maybe you don't actually want the game as much as you think you want it, and you don't need to buy it. Just because it's on sale doesn't mean you need to buy it. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, I could pay $2 for this, but it might be $1 tomorrow, then maybe you don't. If you don't like a game enough to pay $2 for it, maybe you just shouldn't buy it in general. And save your
check out that site that's like a Steam calculator, and it totals up how many games in your library you haven't played, and then maybe you'll have new perspective on whether or not you should care.
I like that.
Hey, NL, I just want to bring up the age-old sandwich question. I recently tried a sandwich with more than one filling. It was ham, turkey, and beef. Shit. What do you feel about this, and would you try a sandwich like this? This is from Lyra. I love multiple meat sandwiches. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. Like an Italian club?
Oh, yeah.
BMT. This is where we can all agree, right? There's no harm done in combining meats.
No, combine away.
To some extent.
Yeah, you don't want to have, you could. But, like, you probably don't want to overdo it. I mean, if you got, like, a sandwich that's, like, this big and, like, this much is, just meat. I mean, welcome to New York, but what are you going to do?
It can compromise the sandwich integrity at some point. I feel like it's a ratio of like the width of the bread to the height of the bread thing.
Yeah.
That's what, I like smoked meat sandwiches, like Montreal style smoked meat sandwiches. But I sometimes do wish that it wasn't just like a little triangle and then enormous pile of meat, little triangle, yellow mustard. Sometimes wish it was a little bit more of a uniform product that I could actually imbibe without having to use my fingers to pick up meat scraps from the plate. But the meat itself is
I can get down with that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's once you start mixing multiple kinds of meat and then you put on like SpaghettiOs. That's where I start to get a little concerned.
SpaghettiOs, I never thought of that.
At some point, the number of toppings on a sandwich stops being about, edibility and culinary aims and starts being a cry for help, I think. So
You know what's crazy too? Those sandwiches that are just held together by a single toothpick, and when you take that toothpick out, it's like you are fucked. You have no chance of getting this thing completely in your mouth. It's all going everywhere.
The toothpick
I'm
game
not a fan of
is
that.
strong, though. Like, I love getting a burger or a sandwich with a toothpick in it because I know that that's them saying, we care. We want you to be able
You
to...
needed help.
Exactly. We want you to be able to eat this effectively, so...
Take it out.
You take the...
First thing I do.
What do you... Then you just, like, mush it all into a ball and cut it with a knife and a fork or something?
Excuse me?
I use the
sandwich
toothpick
ball.
is essential to keep all the ingredients together in their proper
If you need
orientations.
it, no, I don't play
When you
that.
jam it into your gums,
I
you're
don't-
not going to be
Yeah,
happy
just
about it after
jam
that.
it in there. Jam it in there real damn good.
I don't
Just
support
right
know how to
between
hold
two
a
teeth. Just
sandwich.
jam it in.
Yeah, I know how to
That's
hold
your
a sandwich.
future.
If my hands cannot hold a sandwich, then I don't deserve to eat that sandwich.
These hands. Can't
These
hold a
hands.
sandwich.
I do this thing when I eat sandwiches or like burgers. If I start eating that sandwich, I don't put it down. I can't. I don't put. I just eat the whole thing.
So you just
You just
eat a
can't quit
sandwich.
it.
You don't like eat a sandwich and like go on Twitter. You just eat a
No,
sandwich.
yeah.
Then
Like
go.
it's in my hand and
Yeah.
it will not leave my hand
Which-
until it's done, until it's gone, until
Do
there's
you
no
actually
more.
hold your sandwiches like that? Like,
I could hold, yeah, just eat a sandwich like
That
that. It
wrist
depends on how
angle was a
big it
little
is, but
questionable.
yeah.
I'm a two-hand guy.
I mean, I can eat a sandwich with two hands, but like, what if I need to like use the napkin for a little bit?
Try to
Put
eat a
the
meatball
sandwich
sub
down.
with one hand.
No, I always have to have the sandwich in one of my, like, it doesn't go down. I'm telling you, it doesn't touch the plate after it gets picked up.
Why even get the plate? I guess to catch the crumbs. Fair enough. Yeah.
Catch the crumbs, and there might be like fries or something on the side.
Use your lap napkin for the crumbs.
Anyway, thanks for all the questions.
Mhm.
Is it fair to assume that Ryan's distaste for the American Sonic CD theme, Sonic Boom, indicates a deep passion for the European and Japanese versions theme, Toot Toot Sonic Warrior? It's Josh Clark. It's JG Wentworth.
I gotta hear that.
JJ Wentworth's first name is Josh?
I guess so.
I know that.
His last name's Wentworth.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
true.
first time I've heard it.
What I really love about that email is that he italicized Sonic CD. Like, he was writing like a book report in high school.
It's like a scholarly paper, yeah.
I really like that. I do that time to time as well. Anyway, that's
underline it.
good for fan mail. Thanks for the questions so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the stream. We're going to be back playing some Wizard's Lizard, so stay tuned for Gandalf the Grey's Conch live on stream. Thanks for watching so far. Subscribers during this section were, according to Moobot, Poe in Company, Robotron 2000, Saviolero 123, The Cookie Monster, and Spooty1. Thank you very much for those subscriptions.
Thank you, Poe and Company. And thank you, Spooty1. I'm down all around. Welcome to J Smithtown.
And I'm just gonna copy Josh with that one. Thank you, Poe and Company and Spooty1. Thank you very much for the support and welcome to the Rock Quarry.
Beautiful. We're going to run
Welcome
some
to
ads.
Trifecta.
And then when we come back, Wizard's Lizard. See you soon.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doop.
AWL. Boop.
Boop.
See if my stream fixes itself once video's off.
I hope so.
Hope so.
I hope so. I know how frustrating it can be.
It did. It was
Yeah.
Skype the whole time.
Oh,
God damn it, Skype. Alright, well that'll teach me a good lesson. Next time I gotta make sure I get my stream set up before Skype so it knows how much bandwidth it has. Or it'll take all of it. Sorry, I just whacked my mic with my knuckle there.
I don't get it.
What's the funny thing about saying that whacked?
If you have to ask, you don't deserve to know.
Where the heck is Wizard's Lizard? Is it in W?
It's an A.
No, it's A,
Really?
obviously, yeah. A wizard. I like the title screen.
It's not installed. What the heck?
Oh no.
It probably only takes
No,
like
it's
10
not very
minutes.
big.
Yeah, but I just played it on Saturday.
Oh. I don't know.
That's
Can
weird.
they do updates that like uninstall the game? Probably not.
That is super strange. I was like, because it didn't appear in like when I right-clicked on Steam,
Right.
so I was
Click.
confused. You know, with like right-click on Steam in your taskbar and you can see what you played most recently.
Also, the resolution's kind of a strange size and you can't change it.
What is the resolution?
It's a weird resolution.
Yeah, I don't
It's
actually
like
know.
not even
It's
New
like-
Year's.
It's not 16:9 and it's not 16:10. It's like slightly more 4:3.
Like
not
16.9
that
and a
either.
half or something. You can't change it?
No, I just stretched it to fill up the frame.
Oh, yeah, you can do full screen. That's it. Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, it seems like it's got plenty of options.
It's
Okay.
fine.
Everything's fine. It's all good.
It is all good.
Don't stop
actually.
yelling, Ryan.
I'm not worried about anything at all.
Sir
worried.
Bruceable. Just subscribed. If you're listening, Sir Bruceable, up, down, to the side. Welcome to the Lion Pride. Your mom likes my wizard's lizard.
I negotiate
Sounds
with
dirty.
terrorists. Up, down, all around. Welcome to J. Smithtown. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I'm glad that you do. We needed that in
Somebody's
our
gotta do
lives.
I'm gonna get some water.
Get some
Good
water,
luck.
dude. Wet the whistle.
Yeah, wet your whistle.
And wet your whistle.
Your whistle.
Wizards, lizards.
Wizard's whistle.
Alright. Do you want to show HUD inventory? Probably not. Who
No,
cares?
you do, probably. Why wouldn't you want to know about it?
Because it's not already checked.
Oh, you're right. I don't either.
So you know?
Yep.
Might not want to do that.
I like the way the sword moves around on this menu.
Thanks.
So whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
I haven't
You're
played this
welcome.
game since it was like in alpha or beta. It's been a while.
I haven't
Pre-Steam.
played it since I watched Cobalt Streak play it, and that means I didn't actually play it at all.
How's Cobalt Streak doing nowadays?
Seems alright to me. Still got his beard as far as I can tell. I know that was a thing. He's thinking about...
Are you
Oh,
yelling at
giving
me
away-
again, Nick?
No.
We gotta work on our people skills.
I know, it's real hard for me. I slip into this aggressive mode, all of a sudden I'm like screaming my ass off at people that don't deserve any of it at all. It's usually Ryan, but I think I just did it to you by accident. I'm sorry.
Hmm?
I was telling Josh that like I gotta stop being so angry all the time to people like you.
You
'Cause
are.
I'm
You're very
just screaming at people just out of nowhere.
hair trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, shall we begin?
Begin what?
A wizard's
Yeah, what?
lizard, man.
You want me to download it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're supposed to download that game.
All right, I'm gonna just start it. I've had enough of your bullshit. I've learned my
So
lesson.
I guess I have to be Raga.
I'll be Ragnar the Blood Edge.
You have to
I'm gonna
be.
be random, actually.
Let me know how that works out for you.
All right, it has controller support, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, but you know.
Oh, I used a special. That's probably a
Yeah, me
bad
too.
thing.
What do I do? Is that like bad?
You guys have to go through the tutorial, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Just let the
Press A to get
tutorial
around.
guide you. Don't get too big for your britches just yet.
I'm pretty big in my britches. It's the wizard from Zelda. What's this about?
Well, you gotta.
Wizard.
He says words to you that will teach you what's happening.
But if I just keep
That's
pressing
weird.
A a bunch, do I not have to like worry about it then?
Oh my God, Satan just showed up.
Yeah, he's a weird, evil man.
I
Probably.
can't believe you're using the controller for this, like Ultimate Casuals. What do you think
I
this
use-
is?
Wait, I'm not supposed to use
Titanfall?
the controller.
Isaac.
It said like right when you started, it's like, dude, I'm a controller.
I'm a controller.
Well, yeah, but I use keyboard and mouse because this is what I play in
Attack
Isaac.
with right analog stick. Press
Oh, I'm
X
getting
to
a sword
place a
now.
totem. Press Y to soul beast.
Dude, this is badass. I'm shooting swords.
All right, you guys talk amongst yourselves for a second.
Where do you
Alright.
hold the swords?
People are saying raise the Skype audio volume. Skype volume's too low. Well, thank you, Ice and Weeps, for that subscription.
Where do you hold your swords, Josh?
I don't know. Mostly in my pants.
Yeah. Every sword
Museum
needs a
lobby. I don't care about these people's exclamation
Oh,
points. I'm just
please
gonna-
tell me this isn't one of those games that hijacks your like Skype audio settings.
No way. What's
This one would be that? That's surprising. if
You
it is.
guys are super quiet, and the game is not loud, but you're much more quiet than I am.
Oh my God,
What's-
the lizard's so cute when it puts its tongue out when it fires a sword.
Yo, Twitch chat? Tell me about my audio. How's that
This.
doing for you, sexually?
My Twitch chat, don't tell me anything about my audio at all. I don't want to know.
I want to know about mine.
I want to know right now.
I've
Oh, there's a soccer
resubbed
ball.
You and NL, but I got no shot. I'm sorry, Banal. Up, down, all around. Welcome back to J. Smithtown, buddy.
Okay, is this better? Is this? I seem super loud compared to you guys, I think.
Josh, how tall is NL? You can check the our NLSS circle jerk, and that might
Yeah, we've covered this.
answer
and
some questions.
Exhaustively covered this at this point.
Audio
Audio
is fine.
sucks.
It's
Fine,
bad.
it's good.
It's fine. Too loud. It's fine.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get all sorts of
Tiny.
things.
I don't get it because it's like audio is fine, sounds good, but audio's bad tells me nothing. It's like saying this food is like too foody or something like that. NL is too loud.
You know.
All right, I'm
It's
gonna pull myself down.
I'll put your pants down, nerd.
There we go. So I'm probably
On the diving board of all things.
I'm probably at more of an adequate level, appropriate level for you guys then. Let's put the overlay off here. Hopefully that'll work.
What's up with these ghosts? You can't kill the ghosts unless you're dead, right?
Correct.
It's been a while. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
I want to say thank you to GeoGeo222 who just donated $6.69. Thank you very much for your generosity. It's apparently for just me being a cool dude, so that's very nice.
Hey, that's very nice.
And I also got $1 from Protamajoris. And thank you very much for your generosity as well.
Get out of here, weird zombie ghost. Why does
Oh,
ghosts
owl,
have zombies now?
I don't want to hurt owls in this.
The owls are the most annoying enemies for sure.
Up, down, all around. Welcome, Eyes and Weeps to J Smithtown. Thank you very much for their subscription. Welcome to J Smithtown. Raise some suds for your buds.
So I've had some people in chat say, now you, Nick, and Josh are quiet. And I'm going to teach you a little secret that when that happens, what you can do is turn up your own volume, and that'll sort it out for you. I fiddled
the game audio is too loud.
No, it's not that. Don't give these people any extra fuel for
I died,
troubleshooting.
so now I'm a ghost lizard.
As a ghost, you can do some cool stuff.
It's a lot better as a ghost lizard because everything's fucking bright.
I like that, but also you have to fight way more enemies.
Yeah, I just wish like everything was just bright. I don't like darkness, Charlie Murphy.
If you're scared about... That actually sounded like super racist by accident.
I didn't mean it, I'm sorry.
If you're worried about raising your own volume, as soon as the game ends, we should be able to take our settings back to normal.
Am I just supposed to kill all these zombies? Because they drop gold every time.
You have to kill them in order to get out of the room.
No, these doors are wide fucking open.
Oh, okay.
Apparently my chat says that my volume never got weird, so I don't know what I did better.
Yeah, I don't think mine got weird.
Oh, okay.
I know that it's not ideal for you to fuck with your own audio, and I should... Oh, I killed the shopkeeper by accident. I'm gonna die. Don't do what I did. Learn your lesson. And it's not... You can. He'll beat the shit out of you. It's not ideal for you to change your audio, but I seriously tried everything else that I could think of on my end, and I've had a lot of experience dealing with audio issues, so...
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say you got a lot of experience dealing with ends.
What does that even
I have
mean?
a lot of experience dealing with wizard lizards.
I have a lot of
like
experience.
this comment in chats. Why do the walls say LOL?
Oh, yeah. Why is that? Hey, Donkey to Eyes and Weeps. I'm sorry that you're weeping, but thank you for joining the Rock Quarry. We have a donkey support group for you if you need it, so thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Raise your rock donkeys.
Raise your rock PewDiePies if you have them.
It's still my favorite emoticon.
It's a really good emoticon.
I gotta make more. Are we still doing some kind of letters thing, or is that, like, over now?
It never can't really be over, can it? Never really started.
Never really started.
Didn't really start.
We could. Is that possible now? I thought that was like a thing you can't do.
They said it was possible that we could do letters, so I thought we were gonna do the conjunction one.
Like
Is there
the
really a
trifecta.
slot still? Yeah.
I think Ryan's out of slots now.
We got slots.
Not true.
You're at. You
Oh
still
my
got
god,
slots
you
to
have
go.
deluxe slot level?
Oh,
I still need. Like, sometimes I'm like always on the cusp of having enough slots or not having enough slots. Today is a non-slot day.
Yeah, I
Chad,
edged my way back down into the 200s.
I know how to adjust my audio stuff. I genuinely appreciate it, but we're just gonna stream. Oh, I hit the shopkeeper again by accident. Oh, God.
I haven't even seen a shopkeeper. I just spent like 12 minutes on like one room trying to like get zombies out of the ground and murdering them.
Yeah, that's just a
the
waste
candle?
of time.
Why is it?
Yeah.
They give me gold.
Yeah, what's
And
wasteful?
gold like makes me not have to battle shopkeepers like you. Right?
Yes,
no.
right.
Well, you just don't shoot the shopkeepers. It'll help.
Don't shoot the keepers. You won't have to shoot the deputies. Or something like that.
Don't shoot the shopkeepers in life, because I'm just mindlessly like holding the button down.
If
I'm using
zombies
the
die and
analog
turn
stick.
into ghosts, what does that mean about the ghosts?
It really raises a lot of interesting questions about zombie lore,
Oh
right?
shit! I accidentally
Yeah.
aggroed a shopkeeper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go.
How do you guys keep pissing off shopkeepers?
You just do the same thing you do in Spelunky, absent-mindedly like attack them.
Wait, I think
just didn't
like
even mean to throw it.
Goldland is like boss land, right? I don't want to fight him yet.
Are you on the level 3 of the cemetery?
No, I think I'm still on level 1 in the cemetery.
This
Then-
guy is tough as hell.
It is not.
But it's got like weird faces.
It probably means
shit,
it goes
I guess
down to
I'm
the
going
next.
level 2.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything in level 1?
Usually, it's best to explore everything.
God.
You know, standard kind of roguelike meta.
Well, I figured it. Fuck the world, I guess.
Shopkeeper wrecked my ass, and I used so many good moves on him. What?
What do you
Here's
like?
a
So many
shopkeeper.
good moves.
Here's me not
I
trying
had
to
all the
murder him or
moves.
anything.
I was doing the circle strafing. I was throwing daggers. I was trying to hit him right in the eye, and none of it mattered. He just killed me anyway.
He's got like a golden tomato.
I used my golden tomato or my blue tomato. It didn't help.
Yeah, he's. I don't think he's killable feasibly with like starting items. I've never killed him. I just
I
stay the
accidentally
fuck
bought a
away.
health potion. I thought it would like tell me like what it was if I like hung out on top of it, but it just made me buy it. It was like
Found
6,000.
the owl temple. There's coins here with owls and stuff on them.
Okay, the Owl City is a really bad room. If you can counter a room that just has like 50 owls on it,
It's not
you
that
know,
great of a band, too.
be
It's
aware.
the Hall of Muck.
I would go so far as to say they're
What's
worse than
Muck's
not
called
that great.
backwards?
No, I'm not gonna go down that road with you.
M-U-C-K. I can't say that word.
Good. Say it all the time.
You can say it.
Oh, I've never seen this room before.
Come on over, baby.
What is this
Got
owl
something
coin
wrong with
room?
Xtina? Hey, look, there's a big old key here. I got the slime key.
Yes.
I'm a slime.
I think if you use that on the sewers, you can actually make something happen.
Oh, I found the Kickstarter room.
What are you gonna do? Oh
It's
shit,
full
there's a
of
ton of
people's
bats in here. It's bats.
Avatars.
Are you actually
What
like
is this?
in the game, or where are you in
Yeah.
the town?
I'm in a room full of paintings, and there's paintings of like a weird duck and like a wizard man and like a cat with flames and a
Was this
Darth
game
Vader
Kickstarter?
lady.
Was this
It's a-
Kickstarter?
Patron room, so maybe it's something else.
Oh, that definitely sounds like it's a room for Kickstarter backers.
Give me the sword.
Ow, you fucking owl bird. Ow, the chest it got pissed off at me too. There's mimics.
There are mimics. You have to really watch out for those.
Can you like hit them with your sword first and tell if they're a mimic or not?
Well, I mean, you shoot from afar, right?
I'm extremely low on health.
So you just
Oops.
you like open the chest back up and then start shooting at it.
Wait, I got a totem pole. I don't know what it does. I pressed X on accident. I got this like thought I bought a health potion. Does that immediately be used, or can I use that now?
that healing items are immediately used. I don't
That
think there's
sucks.
active items apart from the totem and the like the spell thing that you cast with Zed. I don't know what it is on your controller.
Screwed myself real bad.
Um,
Boy, howdy.
yeah, people are raising a very valid question here, and that's what the heck is up with my gold counter? It just shows nothing. I don't know if I picked up an item that you know, makes it so my gold doesn't appear, or if maybe there's just a glitch happening right now, but I cannot see my gold, which, in a way, it's freeing to not have to care about, you know, the financials of things for once.
Oh, I was in the museum that whole time. That's why that happened.
I got meat. I got raw meat.
So I
You didn't
played
find it.
That's what they call me on the
Castle
street.
wall.
raw meat. I've played like 4 hours of a Wizard's Lizard so far. There's some things I like about it, and there's some things I don't like about it. But I think overall I do like it a little bit more than Our Darker Purpose.
I like the art style a lot.
I think that's kind of where I disagree. But I also think that Our Darker Purpose has an art style that I don't really like. I don't really get down with that like Tim Burton style stuff.
This guy doesn't like any art styles.
I think Isaac's art
He likes
style.
the Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, exactly. Isaac's art style, and I think Rebirth's art style in particular looks pretty interesting. But
How's Rebirth?
oh, it's really good. I've been playing it nonstop.
Since it was canceled.
Yeah, well, I canceled it so that I could just get top search ranking for myself all the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's just
I would do that too.
it's very, you know, I got to protect my business, you know.
Look out for number one.
Exactly.
Who's number one?
That's me.
Oh, you're number one?
I'm number
I
one.
thought
Yeah.
U2 was number one. Bono.
Who's number two?
She come
I'm
up to
not
me
a
and
number,
say, "I'm
I'm
your
a
number two
winner."
girl." Anyway,
All right.
yeah, totally. One thing I do like about it is I need this raw meat. Is the music, and I think like the actual like there's some physicality to the shooting that feels all right. One thing I don't like about it is fucking owls, man.
I love owls.
I ate some cooked meat now, so I got some health back.
In all seriousness, one thing that I think is kind of lacking with the game is like item variety, but it might be because I've just never really made it that far into the game. I get the same items like over and over and over, and because of the way they handle equipment, like you can't get 2 different hats.
Oh shit!
So you get 1 hat, and that's your hat. I'm fighting a boss.
You can't change hats?
Right, well, you can change hats, but you can't... It stops you from, like, stacking up, you know?
Oh.
Which is fine in a way, because, you know, you can't stack active items in Isaac or anything like that. But it does kind of prevent synergy, if that makes sense. It kind of feels a little bit more like Rogue Legacy style, where you... you know, you just find a build you kind of like, and then you go with that.
Right.
But what I do like about it is that every time you rescue a townsperson, you start with more gold, so you can kind of like custom tailor your loadout every time you start to, you know, play more to your strengths. It's weird.
Hey! I'm alive.
Yeah.
After I hung out on Satan's little star for a while.
Yeah, you can go back to that pentagram room and you'll come back to life.
Satan's little star.
Oh, that's bullshit. It only gives me 15 health.
Well, yeah, you did get a second chance at fucking life, though.
But dude, being dead was badass. I could see things. It wasn't dark and scary.
You can just eat an apple and you'll be happy again. Don't worry about it. Lizards love apples.
Give me a second.
You aren't a wizard, Nick. You're a wizard's lizard. So.
I said lizards love apples.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Larkin for a second there, or Larson, perhaps.
I still can't tell the difference between them. Which one's Larkin and Larson again?
Larson's the Swedish one.
Yeah. Which one do the ladies feel good about?
They
Both
both
of them, right?
they are both beloved by the pharaoh sex.
Hey, I'm glad I got that slime key, because when you're dead, these cubes were down, but when you're alive, they're up again.
Yeah, exactly. There's some
I think
kind
all
of
the benefits lie in being fucking dead in this game.
well, yeah,
It's like
except
Dark
that
Souls.
if you die when you're dead, then you're really dead.
Die
You die in
in
real
real
life.
All right, you're all very clever.
No, just me and Josh are.
Yeah.
I blew myself up. That's okay. Now I can
I
be a
think I got
ghost like
little
Josh.
read now. Excuse me?
I can be a ghost like you.
I'm not a ghost anymore. I'm a man, baby.
You're a man, baby. I remember that. Those were fun
Yeah.
days.
No, it's from the classic. That one.
Austin Powers.
Yeah, it
Austin.
is from Austin Powers, right?
He's a man, baby. But it's actually really his mom.
I remember that.
Yeah.
She did look rather mannish.
Saki
That was his
Itsune.
defense. Which, in all honesty, is, you know, like an okay defense, but not after you, like, punch somebody in the face a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, I
This
wouldn't
is
want to
Punch
punch
Drunk
my
Love.
mother in the face. Then I'm thinking, like, about my mother. I wouldn't want anyone to punch her in the face.
Right? No matter how
Especially-
mannish she did or didn't look.
Yeah, it's not her fault. She got bad genes, that's all.
I mean, there might be totally okay genes if that's what you're into. Maybe there's somebody out there who's into, you know, mannish-looking British mothers.
Obviously, my father.
Have you not been to mannishlookingbritishmothers.porn.com? It's
Not yet.
it's got the hottest
Wait, I'll
mannish-looking British mothers out there.
Actually, I'm scared to go. I don't want to see my mom. Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry about life.
Well, no, that would be mannish-looking American MILFs.
That's
.gov.
I got a blue candle.
Yeah,
So I
that
guess-
gives you some lantern and maybe something else that I don't know.
All right. All right.
Still don't know why we don't just do all of the porn sites are .com now. Like, just get rid of. It makes sense. It's 3 letters. They make sense for what it is. You don't beat around the bush. You know exactly what you're getting into.
You beat around the bush. That's what you
I
did.
chose those words specifically for a reason.
NL USA is beating Ghana right now. I'm impressed.
Are
Congrats,
you-
Josh and Nick. Yeah,
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Hey.
I trained them hard.
I think
Trained
the
them
US
fast.
is, you know, probably expected to maybe at least draw Ghana or, you know, compete with them. If they win, that's
They're gonna play a Pictionary.
well. If they win, that's a big win though, because then you know Portugal got the shit kicked out of them today. Maybe they have a pretty good chance of getting out of the group then.
How do I get this golden hand? I want the golden hand, shopkeeper.
You gotta give him enough money. Oh god.
I don't have 10,000. Oh my
Well,
god.
then you can't. You can try to kill him, but I would advise against it.
What is
I
the
can tell you how to
compass? I'm
get
gonna
the golden
compass.
hand,
I
but
got
it would
the
be a Game of
dungeon
Thrones
compass.
reference.
So does dungeon compass work forever? Because I got it forever.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work if you.
Oh, I fucking died
Yeah.
because this sucks a bunch of tits.
How do you use bombs? Is there a way to open this block?
There's no bombs. as far as I know.
Okay, because there's like a key in the middle of a bunch of stones.
Yeah,
and
you
I
need
don't
to be
know-
Yeah,
dead.
you gotta die. You gotta fucking die.
Oh, the hell with that. I guess I'm not getting that key ever.
I still don't know what that
I
key
died
is
to
used
get the
for.
key.
There's another cool
That's-
puzzle where there's like a room full of tombstones, and
You
if you die on the room full of tombstones, or if you're dead, there's like a special zombie that you can kill that will give you an awesome weapon.
A Zombina.
Austin
All right.
West.
Everybody's like, you didn't save the man, okay? And I'm gonna explain to you why I didn't save the man. My condition for playing a Wizard's Lizard on the stream today was I was not gonna save any townspeople because that'll fuck up my progress permanently for the Let's Play. So I don't want to like open up another.
I'll save this guy.
Yeah, you should, because that gives you more money every time you start, which means, you know, as you get more blueprints, you can buy more items to start with every time.
Yeah, give you $500.
Oh,
nerd.
what the bus?
Give
This
you
barrel
Reggie
killed
next
me
time
in
I
one
see you
hit.
in town.
So I'm not gonna rescue anybody, because that would be shitty to start an episode of the Let's Play and be like, hey everybody, I'm getting like 4 times as much money now.
You start every episode with "Hey everybody."
That's true, but I don't mention the like 400 times as much money part unless it's relevant,
Oh, okay.
which I don't want it to be.
I want to be spaghetti.
I want to be Batman.
But you upload VODs, they can see it on YouTube. Yeah, but the NLSS sucks and nobody watches it, so.
I watch
That's
it.
true.
Kate watched it. It was weirding me out. She fell asleep watching it last night.
Aw.
Which is like, you know, simultaneously a bit of a backhanded compliment, but also, you know, kind of insulting.
Oh, I get it. I didn't think very hard about it.
The first time somebody told me that, they're like, should you be insulted? Or, like, I don't mean to insult you, but I fall asleep to your show all the time. And I was like, should I be insulted? I mean, it's not like we're making action movies here.
Yeah.
It's not like you fell asleep against, like, during Edge of Tomorrow. That would be kind of damning.
Well, I think a lot of people kind of get accustomed to sleeping with like noise.
Yeah,
Whether
like
it be
radio or
like television or a computer being on. It's just something people are into. You know? I don't think it necessarily goes against whatever it is that they're watching.
I'm gonna buy a cupcake.
You should.
Nick's gonna fucking
Heal
buy
up, man.
cupcakes. He's a wild fucking dude. Doesn't give a shit about life anymore. Buying
It's like a nice
delicious
cupcake. I
baked
don't think it was
goods.
that bad.
I'm heading down to the sewers.
Did
The
you get the
cupcake might have
slime
made me
key?
stronger.
I did not get the slime key. I still don't know what the slime key is used for. I would have
I got
gotten
the
it
slime
if I died on the second world, though, but I didn't.
I got it because a stupid barrel killed me in one shot.
Yeah, but now you got the slime key, so who's laughing now?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Probably the barrel because it killed me in one shot.
Oh, I got
fell
golden
asleep while
axe.
oh my god, too many owl cities.
Yeah, the owls are super annoying. But in the room
Yeah.
with a bunch of owls, they usually drop a couple meats for you, so.
Nope, no meats.
No meats.
Nothing like
meats.
a couple of meats.
I think I got 0 meats in this fucking owl room. And that was all that was in it. A bunch of owls and me. And then I got murdered, almost. So I'm gonna get double murdered because I'm in ghost form right now. And there's no shop in sight. Well, there probably was a shop, but I don't think there was any healing objects in it.
Ed Furr says, is Children of Men worth watching? I saw a trailer, but it kind of looked like a
Oh.
crappy action movie.
It's
Fuck
okay.
yeah, it's not okay, it's great.
It's a really good movie, but it'll make you just really, really sad. At least it did for me.
Yeah, I can see indeed it's a little depressing. It's got uplifting moments, it's got depressing moments, it's got a little
It's got a
everything.
lot of depressing moments.
I hate this room. This room is the room that kills me in like half of the videos that I've recorded but haven't uploaded yet.
Werewolf just fucking hurricaned me.
I think
Yeah.
this game should be a hentai. Why do you say that, bagel boy? Are you aroused by this dead lizard?
Can you use that like that? Like this should
I
be
did.
a hentai?
I thought you could, maybe not.
We like an hentai?
Well, I would just mean like, shouldn't it be like a hentai, you know, film or something?
I
what
thought
if
it was
it's like a
just to the
hentai
point of
TV
like
show?
we could just refer to things as just a hentai, but I don't know.
I mean, I guess you
be
could
wrong.
say like, this would be better as a porn. It would
Right.
be a little bit of a, maybe a weird way of saying it. Non-standard, but certainly not,
Right.
you know, super unusual.
I just broke that tree. I hope no one was growing it.
I'm growing it right now, baby.
A tree?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's the lizard hentai.
In my pants.
Is that a lizard in your pants, or are you just playing this game?
No, it's the lizard in my pants. Please call animal control.
Oh.
There's so many lizards everywhere.
You're gonna bite
Gosh,
your dick.
Stream is lagging for you, as it should. I'm dropping 2,500 frames. So, I mean, that's over the course of like an hour and a half now,
it's
but
not so bad.
it's not great.
Still entertaining the possibility of giving, you know, a lion frame emoticon, but again, I think it would just make me sad.
Yeah.
Because whenever it was used, I'd be like, yep, dropping frames. Not really sure what I can do about it, but
It seems
Wait.
like you're celebrating it then. Yeah, I would not want to do that.
People said my stream is dead.
Oh shit.
I don't think that's true. I'm still
Oh, no,
uploading
Mimic.
frames.
I don't know. I actually went offline the other day and I was still uploading frames, so I don't know what that means, but it could be true.
I guess I'll check this out.
Ooh, new book. Book
What do
of
soul
Magic.
orbs do?
Soul orbs. You see that like a skull thing on your inventory?
Yeah, I mean,
This
I've
chat's full
used
of
them, but
shit.
are they just damaging?
Yeah,
Still there.
they do like a lot of damage.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like using a bomb in Isaac. And the totems don't have like that's your other thing there.
Oh shit, this room sucks. I'm dead.
Totems don't have like a set number of uses. They're tied to a cooldown time.
Okay.
So you should use totems whenever possible, although they also kind of suck.
Yeah, looks like my stream was up for me when I just looked at it, so I don't know what to do about you, Twitch chat. Except
What's new,
basically
Twitch
call you all a bunch
chat?
of liars.
What?